My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. Other people want to make friends. I'm just trying to save you some money. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate and teach you about these times. So call me at 1-800-743-CNBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. When the market was roaring last week, I warned you, didn't think it would last. Eventually, there'd be more bad news about the pandemic, and we would get slammed again, and that's exactly what happened today. Dow plummeting 974 points, S&P plunging 4.41%, NASDAQ also nosediving 4.41%, because last night the president gave us a pretty downbeat, realistic forecast for COVID-19 fatalities. If you've been following the experts, then a potential death toll in the hundreds of thousands might not have surprised you, but for a lot of investors, it was a rude awakening. I can't blame anyone for selling after that miserable first quarter with very little good news on any front in the battle against COVID. Let's be real. This market is an incredibly leaky ship. If you've been laid off, if you're having health problems, if someone in your family is hurt, you're supporting a loved one who's out of work, then you're most likely going to have to sell stocks to get through this period. People need cash. You can't fight that kind of selling. That's what we're seeing. So why not simply dump everything, flee, maybe get for the hills, get out ahead of these people? Well, all right, I'm not going to, if you need the money, I'm not going to fight it. But let me give you a contrarian case for at least sitting tight, okay? Last week, the S&P 500 rallied nearly 20% after Congress passed a $2.2 trillion rescue package for everybody, workers, the unemployed, small business, big business. Think of it as life support for the economy while so much commerce is on hiatus. But we've now given up a big chunk of those gains on the sad realization that life support isn't the same as real customer stimulus. You can't stimulate the economy without demand. And there'll be no demand until we beat the virus. Don't get me wrong. We absolutely had to pass this bill. Without it, our country's economy could have just shut down. Tens of millions of people. All those people work for these now desperate small and medium-sized businesses. They could be thrown out of work. It prevents this pandemic from turning into an economic apocalypse that's huge. And it was great that it got done. However, no amount of federal cash can make consumers want to get their hair cut or their nails done. You can't go out and grab a beer when all the bars are closed. It's a new world. It's a world where companies with the strongest balance sheets will survive and ultimately thrive, while the little guys are more likely to get wiped out. A lot of the show is going to be about that. I was on halftime with my buddy Scott Wapner today. He's hosting a special tonight after the show. And we were almost all negative about the market right now. It's just kind of a foregone conclusion. It's going lower. However, one of the panelists, Karen Firestone, one of my classmates at Harvard, who's whip smart and a terrific all-around friend, said something that bears repeating. This will end. And when it does, you won't be able to buy stocks at a discount because the market will turn into a rocket ship. That means you can't wait for the ideal moment to buy. You have to pick up stocks gradually on the way down, even though we know, look, I know today was terrible. Once we beat this virus, we could have a much bigger rally than the one we just had last week. But we're not there yet. We're not. I can't be constructive yet. I'll get more constructive when we give up last week's gains, when we're retesting March lows. I think that's a better time to buy. And I'll feel better when we get closer to actually bending the curve. The outbreak's still spreading at an exponential pace, and we're a long way from the peak in infections. We need some time to pass. I also added something when I spoke with Karen and the team. I told Karen that I remember all those really smart people in our class who went on to med school, the truly brilliant ones who weren't named Bill Gates or Steve Ballmer, the two most notable members of the class of 77. I don't want to bet against those doctors, those scientists. Yet that's exactly what you're doing. If you keep selling all the way down, or if you don't start picking something up into the weakness. This is not like the run-up to the Great Recession, when the White House and the Federal Reserve were committed to doing absolutely nothing. They only took action after the financial system collapsed. They know nothing. This time, our government's learned its lesson. They're being a lot more proactive. They read the papers. They see this has got to get unstuck. They unstick it.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.